This is normally a pick a card channel. For those of you who aren't new here, you know that. And generally speaking, that's what we tend to do. However, I've been getting prompts, nudges from Spirit to do zodiac sign readings. Not necessarily consistently, but for particular messages to be able to come through in a more, or I guess I should say different kind of group setting. And the first zodiac sign that they're drawing me to, and they've been repeating several times and urged me to do today, was Pisces. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at this message for Pisces. Now, you don't have to be a Pisces per se. You could be simply connecting to the archetype of Pisces, as we all have all 12 of the zodiac signs within our natal chart. You could be looking to the house that you have Pisces in your natal chart, or the planets that are ruled by Pisces, or you could simply be wanting to connect to this Pisces or Pisces energy, or to the message in the title. Whatever the case may be, we're going to bring through some messages from Spirit for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so the first thing I'm hearing is arrested development. Arrested development. Now, I know that's a reference to a show, but I'm getting this more in terms of something that had stopped in terms of flow. Something that was developing to a certain point and then ceased to continue in that same vein of development. Let's see. 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Perhaps this is a spiritual process of connection, communion or connection, communicating with the higher realms within the self, as Pisces tends to do. Pisces energy itself archetypally is connected to the etheric realm, to the spirit realm, to the emotional realm, and the realm of fantasy and imagination. So there's a deep sense of connection that is innate within that Piscean energy. And I'm hearing energy field. Okay, so there was something in the energy field that was developing to a certain degree, and then the progress halted. Now, this might have been recent. This could have been for you, or this could be for someone else, but there's a process of development that was halted in some way. And the 7th chakra could relate here to claircognizance, or the ability to receive downloads of information beyond the realm of thought. Clairvoyance is sight, clairaudience is hearing, clairsentience is feeling, etc., etc. Clairgustance, clairalience, taste and smell. But with claircognizance, the messages come through primarily almost in like a zip file format, if we're relating this to technology. So it doesn't come through in necessarily a linear way with the context given based on the particular mode of translation that it's coming through. Instead, it comes in its sort of bulk format. It's kind of like the Costco of the chakra system, to put it very crudely. So there's something here that was meant to be delivered or received that may have been lost in translation, or there was an inability to open it up and really understand what it was trying to say. Man holding a heart. And this could be a message for someone that you care about, somebody in your life that you love, or your relation to them through this higher form energy. Okay. Well, there we have it. Answered directly from Spirit. Door to romance and a contract. Okay. I just heard arrested development timetable. Arrested development timetable. So there does seem to be a sort of blueprint for this in terms of how this contract is meant to play out and what it entails within it. So there seems to be some kind of a stuckness or stagnation in the mode of transportation of this energy, or the information that is meant to be gleaned from it and then applied. I'm hearing the word district, district attorney. That's interesting. District attorney. So this is relating to law, karmic law specifically. Karmic law. Now, I'm not too familiar with the legal or justice system in the third dimensional human reality. So I'm not actually quite sure what a district attorney is or does or what their roles are. That could be something to look into a little bit more deeply. Even just a simple Google search could give you some information or context as to how this message might apply spiritually. I don't necessarily interpret readings literally. That's just not how I tend to read. Everything that spirit brings through mostly is metaphor or symbolism, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't apply literally. It's just its reflection out in the physical world could come through in that literal way. But it's still a metaphor for what's going on at the metaphysical realm or on that metaphysical layer. Yeah, I'm hearing soul contract. So this is a soul contract, perhaps to assist in the evolution of the other person through your own personal development, through the unlocking of this heart frequency and the connection of that heart chakra frequency. And I'm hearing the denomination of love. Okay, something about denominations of love. Okay, they're saying how it's quantifiable. Well, what do you mean, Spirit? Do you mean that that's how the contract is meant to play out, or that's what it involves? Or perhaps that was causing the arrested development, because it's suspiciously feeling a bit here, almost like conditional love. Limitations on the denomination of applied physics is what Spirit just said. What? Limitations on the denomination of applied physics. My tiny human pea brain can't understand what that means in this moment. But the spiritual teachings that Spirit brings through are meant to expand the mind. So this is probably part of that process of shifting and being able to move forward. And I'm hearing shifting into integrity. And this feels like alignment with the original contract, or, okay, I just heard a proposal for a new one. Okay. So this could actually be I'm hearing involvement with the other, something about you and the other person, and how your involvement with one another has changed the stipulations of the contract. The agreement has or needs to change. And I'm hearing variable. Something about variabilities in the contract and how that was actually built into the code. I'm hearing built into the code or built into the system itself, not necessarily the individual soul contract or karmic relationship, but more so into the system itself. Now, again, I don't really know what that means. They're showing me examples of atoms and atomic structure and quantum physics. So this is highly metaphysical, but there's something of like a principle to that. There's like these laws, these higher laws that govern some of these lower laws in terms of how these soul contracts play out at the human level, at the physical level specifically. Okay. Rest and rejuvenation, and I heard connect. I'm also hearing the word telepathy. Yes. I'm hearing acuity. Something being perceptible, being able to perceive something through the mind. And I'm also hearing non-judgment. Okay, Spirit just said non-judgment of the principles of the self. So this feels like a shift into unconditional love, seeing the other person as an aspect of the self and understanding where that arrested development may be a mirror for something that was going on internally here, especially at the seventh chakra, although I wanted to call it seventh dimensional, at the seventh dimensional layer or level. What comes after 7? They said 8. Well, obviously. So 7 and 8. 1978 could be a particular year. 7, 8, 9. Linear progression. Okay, it's kind of what I'm thinking of here. And I've also had references to 7 of 9 coming up, leading up to this reading, which is a character from Star Trek. And she's basically a reformed Borg. So she was locked into this AI hive mind of the Borg. And she managed to escape and kind of refine her humanity. But she still has some connections or affiliations to that Borg network. And so she tries to, I'm hearing fights between worlds. It's like she fights to exist between these two worlds and to try and understand how to acclimate herself into a world that feels different and yet is her origin. Okay, this is getting a lot deeper than I expected, but they're saying this is part of the contract. Okay, something about the angel's wings and the angelic nature. Something about reasserting the self and this frequency, not necessarily the application of unconditional love, but the feeling or felt lived frequency of unconditional love. And it's through connection telepathically or through connection intentionally. I'm hearing by design, by fate's design, that this is accessed or applied somehow. I'm still not sure what the application looks like. Okay, we have door to personal healing and happiness. I think that's a direct answer to the question I just asked. A door to personal healing and happiness. That's what this is, this is what it results in, or this is what it looks like when it's applied. I'm hearing freedom to explore. Through this golden gateway, being able to go out into the world and explore. And they are showing me the duality here. If you can see in the picture, on one side, off in the distance, there's sort of like this cracked, barren, like a dry lake bed sort of look. And then on the other side, there's lush green grass. But over both of them is the same horizon and this arcing rainbow, which has been a symbol that Spirit showed me this morning this will be the 3rd time, the rainbow. Could apply to the rainbow body. Okay, I just heard a rainbow origin. Rainbow origin, something about a rainbow tribe and how that's connected to this contract. Interesting. On the bottom, man holding a coin, I just noticed as well. So male energy does seem to be prevalent here. And I'm hearing the word persistent. And they're showing me this key connected to the caged heart. There's something about opening this wardrobe that appears to lead into a secondary space. Same thing with this door that might even look like a window. I'm hearing the word shield, that you're able to make progress through. I just heard something about demanding attention or commanding attention. I'm not sure in what context that applies here, but there's something about the energy of this attention that they're showing me that is very almost not conformist, not militaristic. That's not the right word. It doesn't hold the right connotation, but perhaps not rigid. What's the word? Help me out, Spirit. Synchronistic is actually the word that Spirit gave me. Okay, because it's synchronized, like synchronized swimmers. It's precise. That's a better description of it. It's very precise. And this does command or demand attention because it's showing some level of discipline or some kind of moral structures I'm hearing as well, but it's making me think of like how the 7th chakra is the crown chakra, the crown representing sovereignty. I'm hearing morality again. So something about morality and morals is involved in this. A moral approach to sovereignty actually is what Spirit just said. A moral approach to sovereignty. What would that even mean? Well, I guess just kind of thinking out loud here, but perhaps it's talking about they're showing me energetically heart integrity, but it feels kind of like being able to approach, that's not what I meant to say, encroach or approaching something. Hold on, there's just a lot coming through. So I've got to kind of step out of the way and just let it happen. And I'll come back to what I was saying before. Encroach, approach, to touch, to connect, to see, to feel, to heal, to to be as one, and they're showing me Jessica Biel all of a sudden, something about Biel. Rather than to belittle, they said, rather than to belittle. And they're showing me Stuart Little, the little mouse, Stuart Little. Maybe something about adoption or family or connections. They're saying emotional ties. Heart-led, they're saying, heart-led. And they're saying core frequency. Something about constitution or constitutional rights at the soul level. Constitutional application of those rights in regard to a romantic relationship, and soul sovereignty in how you apply what has been given. What has been given here, Spirit? They said the truth. They're saying Ruth, and Ruth has come up in multiple of the recent readings I've noticed, and even behind the scenes, they were showing me, or they were leading me to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm hearing Supreme Court Justice, and there's something about, again, like this, perhaps female sovereignty, being in a leadership position or being able to lead yourself through some kind of, I just heard acrimony. I don't know what that word means. If I can find it on Google, I'll put it here in the video, but acrimony or acrimonious. And they're saying constitutional rights again. Okay. I should have said, when I saw the door to personal healing and happiness, I was like, it's reminding me of the garden and the gate. And this card was shown to me clairvoyantly in one of the last readings that I did. It didn't come out. We didn't use this deck, but I just realized now that that's probably why Spirit guided me to this one, because I always intuitively choose the decks based on a yes or no from them. And this one was what they were showing me. So the garden and the gate, coming out of the cage, it's being able to explore and getting out of some kind of a comfort zone in regard to romance and your own spiritual or personal development and how that relates to interpersonal connections. Yeah, they said the contracts within, blossoming abundance. They pointed me back and they repeated these words here, door to personal healing and happiness. So there's a blossoming abundance available here. And I'm hearing constitutional rights again. So there's something connected to that at this higher soul or universal law level that is allowing this abundance to come in through this frequency. I'm hearing applied dynamics. And there's something about like movement or inertia that they're showing me. Applied dynamics, something about a wheel, a ball and chain, the key, the lock, getting out. I'm hearing out of neglect. They said the word carrier. And they're showing me Carrie Bradshaw. And also I had a flash for just a split second of Princess Leia from Star Wars. Okay, so that's interesting that they're referencing well-known celebrities or public figures. That's not always the case, although I have noticed them doing that a lot more recently. Now there could be something meaningful in their names. There could be something meaningful in characters that they have played in certain movies, or there could be something meaningful or synchronistic in the timeline of events that will unfold, that will connect the dots here in regard to why these are being referenced or brought up. Yeah, they're saying synchronized again. Okay. Angel of strength. I actually heard angel of fortitude a split second after I read it out. So angel of fortitude, and I guess fortitude and strength are definitely connected here. Almost synonymous in a sense. We could interchange those words or exchange them. They're bringing me back to blossoming abundance, and they're saying something about an exchange there as well. It's like there's an exchange of energy, perhaps in an intentional way with the divine to help further the progress and growth of this soul contract. Now, what is that going to look like? I'm curious. To remove the stagnancy, all tied up, to remove the stagnancy. They're saying progressing the flow, and they're showing me energy literally flowing down through the top of the head in like this column or a pillar of light. And bringing that in now is recommended. Spirit just said bringing that in now as you listen is recommended. And you can do that consciously and intentionally with your will. They're saying will center, which would be the solar plexus chakra in the abdomen. Okay. They just said taking time to release, and they're showing me rest and rejuvenation. So there's some energy that's being released here. I'm hearing figure of speech, fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, the heart center and door to spirit. This is what's being opened to help to alleviate some pain. I'm actually hearing pain in the heart or pressure in the heart. Around love, romance, I'm hearing the word fatigue. Romance fatigue or physical fatigue. I'm hearing financial prosperity, and they're pointing me back to the blossoming abundance card. Sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. You've got a lot of chakras that are upgrading here, Pisces. You've got a lot of chakras that are upgrading here. And the other deck that they did lead me to is this other angel one. So let's get into this one and go a little bit deeper. So what is it that is happening in the release of this energy and the surge of this incoming prosperity that's occurring? Wow, Archangel Jeremiah, reflections, dreams, and visions. And we just had that sixth chakra, which is hold on, I'm hearing the seat of the soul, but I was going to say it's not, that would actually more so be the solar plexus, but the third eye chakra being that gateway to inner vision, to inner knowing, to that clairvoyant seeing and sight. They're saying reflections. It's like being able to see yourself, and they're showing me two people standing in front of each other, not seeing that the other person is actually a mirror. Archangel Michael, clarity, but I wanted to say clair something, like clairsentience, clairvoyance, like I mentioned in the beginning. So there's something here about these clairs coming online and the sensitivity increasing, which may be why there's fatigue or a lot that's purging out and a need for increased rest, rejuvenation, or meditation to connect. I am hearing the word purge. So there's a purge karmically within this connection, and they're showing me the ties or something about bondage or bonding. Maybe there's even like trauma bonds between this connection, or just that have been felt in the heart. Oh yeah, holes in the heart. They're showing me something about previous partners or ex-relationships and pain in the heart center, or even lived experience, but from past lives, because they're showing me this like shadow imprint across multiple different timelines where there was a lot of pain in the heart, not just romantically through destructive relationships, but also through family ties. And I'm hearing something about an origin story. And Archangel Michael here is helping bring truth and protection. I'm hearing the word salvation actually, and it's 111 on these cards, 111. So this is an activation, an enlightenment. I'm hearing the word engagement. And they're showing me the shield on his arm. And on the bottom, Archangel Raziel, secrets, protected knowledge, and mysteries. This may have been a mystery. Saint Dymphna, mental health, well-being, and support. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of healing taking place here. For both, I'm hearing for both parties. And Spirit is saying not separate, not separate. Archangel Uriel, illumination, inner power, and ideas into form. Oh, I like that. Ideas into form. Again, it's like these downloads are able to come in. I'm hearing to be purchased. What do you mean? And they're showing me how a purchase is not referring to buying something, but it's like a payload. The context that they're showing it to me, like the word itself, the context they're using it in is like the purchase of something is a payload. Now, I don't fully know what that means. They're showing me again like army or military, but there's, I would have to look that up, but there's something about the purchase or the value of that purchase. I'm hearing the word asset or assets. And I think having this alignment in the connection is an asset to you. They just said the word forthwith, forthwith. Okay. And then they said ameliorate, ameliorate. So, and I'm hearing satisfaction, and they're showing me something being smoothed out. Like something that was wrinkled or crumpled or jagged is being smoothed out. Ameliorate. Again, I'm not sure exactly the definition of that word, so I'm going to have to look that up, and I'll put it on the screen. But this is interesting. Okay, so I want to ask what ideas are coming into form, and I'm going to use the Astro Dice to answer this question. What ideas are coming into form? We have Gemini, which is the idea maker. The Sun, illumination, truth, clarity, the sense of self-identity, personal awareness, self-sovereignty, self-rulership. So the Sun in Gemini in the 5th house, which is to do with play, creativity, hobbies, dating, romance, and children. Although I just heard the word platonic as well. And they're showing me the planet Pluto, actually. Plutonic, not platonic. Oh, interesting. So the ideas into form are coming through the self. And it's through this transmission of information. I'm hearing two-way street. So it could be through literal communication with, I'm hearing the word better half. Okay, so this could be a marriage or a marriage contract that we're talking about either now or in the future. And there's a level of psychic collaboration is actually the phrasing that Spirit just gave me. Psychic collaboration that occurs at an unknown or unseen level that allows for something, I'm hearing joyous, oh wow, allows for something joyous to take place. The word joy also just felt like a name to me, so joy. Something about being able to identify or to name or to categorize that joy and to take it into the heart and kind of like make it a part of yourself. They're showing me joy as like a person and being able to integrate that identity into the self. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? Actually, I just had a flash of this, the scene or the movie Inside Out. And the main character is Joy. She's literally the emotion of joy, but also that's her name. So yes, this is what they mean. Okay, thank you, Spirit, for elaborating on that and giving me that additional context and even like an example of what they were talking about there. Joy, joy. And they're saying, okay, thank you. Spirit just said, and joy can be found within all of you. They're pointing me back to the rest and rejuvenation card here. So there's something that's closing right now. They're showing me the number 1 and 9. 1's beginnings, 9's endings and closure. So there is something that's being closed right now that's being let go of. But as that is occurring, it's like simultaneously as something is closing out, part of this contract, part of this old agreement closing out, at the same time, it's actually an opening, because they're not showing me closing doors. They're not showing me the closing of a cage. They're not showing me anything that's actually closing other than the agreement that was initially launched in this contract. What they're showing me is the opening. So it's like the closing causes the opening. And I'm hearing major catalyst for change. Number 5 here, 5th house. I'm just realizing number 5 can refer to change, movement. I'm hearing the word embodiment. Something about the physical body could be shifting or changing right now as well. Or where the physical body is located, meaning a different timeline or a different location physically on the earth. Okay, let's get some. Okay, they want me to clarify all tied up. Can you give me some information on that, Spirit? All tied up. Because they just pointed me back to that card and they called me to this deck. So can we get some tea leaves to understand the context of all tied up? I'm hearing felt like pressure. Something was pressurized or there was pressure. They said synaptic. Ooh, synaptic pressure. That would be in the brain. But they're showing me how synapses need to connect. They need to communicate. There needs to be a fluidity of information, both chemically and electrically, that passes across that synaptic cleft. So it needs to bridge the gap. And this is what allows for, I'm hearing new waves, new brain waves. They're saying, oh, wow, this is very physical then. Very literal. Something about new brain waves or rewiring the brain, part of the new contract. They're saying part of the new contract. Okay, I'm hearing new. Man, yeah, this is definitely, man, dealing's a relationship with a man. So there was a man here. Oh, they said logistics. It could be a man, but it's like, it's maybe even the masculine principle itself causing things to get all tied up. And the masculine principle is the left brain thinking of logic, logistics, compartmentalization, analytics. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's necessary, but it needs to be balanced or harmonized with the right brain. I'm hearing right brain polarity, which would be feminine polarity of feeling and sensing and knowing and receiving and being able to connect to the intangible realms and to channel that through. Okay. Yeah, they're saying bridging the gap again. We have pig, beware of greed. A greedy man or the greed of man could have been involved in this contract. Stipulations, they just said something about the stipulations of the contract. A greedy man trying to control. They said the matter or material realms. So they're saying protection. So there's protection from some kind of an outside influence or a past person or something. I'm not sure where it's coming from per se, but it's just this energy of this influential man or this male energy that has been influential in this feeling of constriction. Okay, I just heard placebo effect. That's really interesting. Well, the placebo effect is basically scientific evidence of mind over matter. Belief can literally change and shape the biology. I'm hearing powerful wave. Broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. So if there was a romantic or a financial or business deal with a man who was, I'm hearing bred for greed. That's really weird. That's a weird phrasing, Spirit. What do you mean? They're showing me like populations of pigs and how selective breeding can apply different traits. And it's like aggressive selective breeding. So selecting traits that of male, I'm hearing figureheads that are more aggressive. So there could have been a soul contract with someone or types of men who were more aggressive. And that's, I think, the ending of that contract. I heard they said something about broken promises, or they said, the man themselves said something and it was a broken promise and the broken ring. Okay, I literally just heard past partners. So, and they're showing me like this is far beyond just this lifetime. Okay, they just said exoteric, and I don't know if that's a word. Again, I will have to look that up. Exoteric. Something about authorship. I meant to say off earth, but it came out of my mouth as authorship. Sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. There could be something of a mental clarity in communication that wants to come through in the written word or in new ways of communicating these ideas, new creative ideas, new things to do. Sunrise, definitely this new beginning. A new state of awareness being born. I'm hearing new state of awareness being born. And this takes these ideas, these creative ideas. Again, fifth house is creativity and creative ideas. Wow, and gives it form. Ideas into form here with Archangel Uriel. I'm hearing in support of what? Something about your nature, in support of your nature and wealth, your own nature of abundance. Oh, wow. They said the nature of abundance is healthy. And they're saying to put that on the contract card. The nature of abundance is healthy. Health is wealth. Maybe it's something about, again, the physical body being healthy. The mind being healthy, the spiritual connection being healthy, and the finances could reflect that or could be part of this, definitely. Travel or movement is applied. I'm hearing something about movement, and they're showing me the skeletal system, so something about the skeleton, moving the body or moving the skeleton. Something about bones and structures or fractures in bones, they're just showing me as well. And they're saying broken promises, fractured bones representing broken promises, especially if it was in connection to a man. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to take that. Now they're showing me a reference to this idea of being able to calm aggression through reduction of inflammation in the brain. But they're showing it to me. There was an example, I can't remember where I saw this years ago. It was this man who developed these pills to lower aggression in his pigs, and he would feed them this mix of supplements to get them to stop attacking each other or him. And then he marketed that to people. There's something about like power plus, they're saying. Angel. I knew the angels were significant here. I'm hearing angelic guidance. Yeah, it says spiritual guidance and protection from harm. So you're needing to know here, Pisces, that you are very, very, very much protected. Literally, I just heard angelic surveillance. What? The angels are literally saying, we've got your eye on, I didn't mean to say we've got your eye. And they're showing me like a parent playing with a kid and saying, got your nose. But they don't have your nose. Something about your eye. I was going to say they've got your back, or they've been watching, but I think somebody tried to trick you, like not the angels themselves, but somebody in this physical form of a man perhaps may have tried to trick you into thinking that you're not powerful, or reflecting back to you their own distorted self. And the angels are saying, no, that was just a trick. I'm hearing figure of speech, someone who speaks, or the spoken word. This could have been imprinting through the spoken word. For example, them telling you, you're not this, you're not that, you can't do this, you can't do that, something like that. And there's protection here. And they keep saying rewiring of neural pathways. So I've got to keep bringing that through, because they're emphasizing that pretty heavily here. Rewiring of neural pathways. And they're saying facilitating growth. And they're pointing me back to the crown chakra again. It's like you're not only shifting biologically, but the spiritual capacity to hold new consciousness is a direct reflection of that. Or it's, I'm hearing counterpart. August. Okay, so August may have been or will be significant, depending. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to see this. Ooh, my throat just got heavy or dense. I don't know, something in August, communication in August. Leo season, we got the lion right here sitting next to that. Even the color here, orange, reminds me of Leo for some reason. The Lion's Gate may have been or will be significant. My throat chakra, what's going on with the throat here? There's something about a peaceful person, they're saying. Peaceful person or personality. Okay. And they're showing me a purse and a personality. Personality. They're showing me pursed lips and not being able to speak up. Perhaps because showing that side of your personality would remove some kind of a benefit. So let's say, for example, you express your truth to someone. Let's say, for example, it's in a negative relationship. You express your truth to that person and then they withdraw the love. So very conditional types of love, or they withdraw the financial backing if this is a business person or a relationship or contract or something like that, you know? So it's this idea of, if I show this side of my personality or this authentic truth or this part of me that I believe, then that's going to be withdrawn, or the support's going to be taken away. And there's something about this healing of that conditional wounding around the heart that opens up bandwidth in terms of the frequency that you can embody and how that heals you. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And they just showed me a character, something about a character narrative or character form, and I saw a flash of Storm from X-Men with her white hair, being able to control the power of the elements or weather or this storm. They're pointing me to this 7th chakra card and how she has white hair as well. And I'm hearing the fairest in the land, and they're showing me magic mirror. Yes, okay. The opposite, Snow White, would be dark-haired, light-haired, black and white, masculine, feminine polarity, yin and yang. Or perhaps something about crone wisdom, because I'm being shown these fair, authoritative, not necessarily elderly, but wise or wizened women. So there's some kind of wisdom that's being learned here and or applied. And I'm hearing a fair start, and then they pointed me back to the phrasing here on Sunrise, a fresh start, a fair start, a fresh start, and something about equality. So perhaps in the past, the scales were weighed against you. They were not in your favor. And it was kind of like you had to work twice as hard to get half as much. This time around, it seems to be a fair start, meaning that it's a fresh opportunity to do it differently, and it's on an equal playing field, meaning that you don't necessarily have the advantage, but you have the opportunity to be able to play it out in a way that actually yields, I'm hearing quantifiable results. Quantifiable, they're pointing me back to blossoming abundance here. So wealth, abundance, quantifiable results, and I'm hearing lived experience. Gavel, involvement with the law. Yes, we know that. This is a contract, but it's like spiritual law. They're saying law of cause and effect. So yes, this is karma. Cause and effect. So the karma was somehow weighed against you. Why was that? I'm curious. And they're pointing me back over here to all tied up, the man, the pig, the broken ring. There was some kind of karma that was tied to a negative karmic pattern, a karmic father, a karmic cycle, a karmic business associate. It could have presented in all of these different ways even. It doesn't have to be just one person. It's kind of like this pattern may have shown up through many different people, many different faces, but that same wound or that same pattern that was perpetuating this series of events connected to fear or failure. And they're showing me Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events. It's kind of like, again, it feels like the odds were stacked against you. Oh, and I'm realizing that in that show, in that book, the eye in the triangle is a main symbol or theme. I would have to go back and rewatch them. I read those books when I was a kid. Something about childhood wounding could perhaps be part of this. And that eye out here is kind of over the heart and solar plexus area. But there's a symbolic meaning to that. So again, it's like nobody can steal. They're showing me his glasses here. Nobody can steal your ability to see things clearly anymore. I'm hearing angelic intervention and on your behalf. Okay, thank you. Yes, angelic intervention on your behalf has taken place in terms of your healing. Ooh, box, you will receive a gift. I heard a new narrative, new timeline. Thank you, Spirit. A new timeline. They're showing me through and through, like you're able to finally get through some stage of development that you were in some ways spiritually stunted in. Like, for example, this fear programming or patterning or this wound or this karmic cycle just kept looping back on itself. And it's like it's finally coming loose. You're tying up loose ends as well. A little bit of paradoxical phrasing there, but essentially you're getting out of it. You're closing the door and opening it at the same time. Again, it's like you're getting loose by tying up loose ends. You see how it's kind of like an oxymoron? You're closing it out to open the door. It's an oxymoron, but it's paradoxical because it's aligned with this universal nature or this universal law of oneness. I'm hearing something about community, boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. This could come through connections in community, in family, or in right ownership, I just heard. And they're showing me the law again, something about right ownership. Something about spiritual integrity is aligned with that. And it's kind of like you come into this frequency that is yours by nature, that you were stripped of or kept from. It was hidden from you and you were kept in a cage and made to believe. They're showing me like parakeets with clipped wings or lovebirds with clipped wings and kept separate. So it's like you and the counterpart were not able to be together, or your wings were clipped individually. And then something about the collective impact of that, they're saying. something about the machine or the mechanism or the mechanistic mind of this man or this principle of man that was very greedy. Oh, they said it reflected itself on you. It's like this person was broken, and so they tried to teach you that you were broken. Or they may have tried to break you or have broken you. But it's this divine intervention that comes in that says, I am not what I am made to be. I am what I make myself to be and what I have made myself to be. So it's like choice. There's a choice point here that was chosen by you to free yourself. You have the key to that cage, the cage of the heart, setting yourself free. Successful outcome to your problems. Successful outcome. You have the key to the gate around your neck. You have the key to the cage in your heart. You have the key to this door in your dreams. And now that you know that, you can get out at any time and claim your divine right, I just heard, and claim your divine right. Now, goldfish, they have been showing me a lot to do with goldfish and aquariums and tanks, and like the tank was too small and expanding the tank. Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. It is both. It is literally both. And they've made that very clear here, Pisces. You are the fish, right? So the goldfish, you are the golden fish. Not to be confused with the golden goose. You are the golden fish. And I'm hearing wealth timeline, prosperity imprints, something about disclosure or disclosed to you because they were locked in a box and they were hidden away. It's kind of like you weren't able to access your own files. And so you couldn't actually ever know the truth of who you were because this person or this energy or this being was keeping that from you. They're showing me an example right now. Okay, this is obviously a metaphor, but they're showing me an example of somebody in an insane asylum, and the orderly who either put them in there or is in control of them at that point has all of these files on them, memory wipes them so that they don't remember who they were. I'm hearing the word war, like something, they wore you down into believing these false truths or gaslighting you into questioning yourself or forgetting your power. And in sealing away those files, in stealing, actually, I'm hearing the word stealing, greed. Yes, they stole those files from you that were, I'm hearing Akashically imprinted. Okay, so this is going into the Akashic field. Whoa. Yeah, aurically, they're saying something about your auric blueprint. There were codes and firewalls that they tried to get past, and that they stole some of your own sacred, I'm hearing sacred keeper. They stole some of your secrets and tried to keep them from you. Something about mass and density, and this brought down your mass, or it lowered your frequency to a point that became dense, and then they could manipulate, or it was more malleable to them and to their greedy ends. And they kept you tied in that. Okay? You need to know this if you were drawn to this reading and you're still here and it's resonating. You need to know this. You need to understand why this happened. It was an imprint. It was an imprint that was placed into you. It was not original. It's not connected to your origin. That's what they're showing me Akashically. And it's like there's a level of the Akashic field or library that you've just been able to access because you've done something different. You've made a choice. There was a choice point, or there will be one. And in that choice, to align and to trust and to have faith and to choose to heal, to choose to believe, or to choose to receive in a healthy way. I'm hearing the word conundrum. To believe that there's a way out of the conundrum, that your back doesn't have to be against the wall, or that you don't have to, they're saying something about flailing or fighting to survive. It's like this fight or flight response that was a mechanism, they said mechanism used against you. To dysregulate you, to impair your functioning literally at the brain or physical level. And again, to keep your vibration low so that you were more easily manipulated or contained. And I'm hearing containment fields of thought. Ooh, and it caused separation. I'm hearing anxiety and animosity. It caused separation between you and your true partner, or this true reflection of yourself, or this just awareness of your own spiritual being and the integrity and the power found within it. So it's like they're showing me a storage locker. It's like this information about who you are and your access to the knowledge of that was hidden away or squirreled away or locked up behind closed doors, behind vaults and codes that you couldn't get past. And they did that intentionally to keep you small, to keep you weak, to perpetuate that belief so that you continued to create it and attract it and reinforce it. Because the more times you experienced it, the more times you believed it. And it's not that the power that you hold and are destined, I'm hearing, destined to wield in your soul from your heart, the power to heal yourself, they're saying, the power to heal yourself and to blossom into this state of lived experience of abundance. It's not that the files that they kept from you, I'm hearing file sharing though, so it's like you're able to access it now. That's the difference here. That's what promotes this new cycle of growth, the opening of these doors and this new day that is arising within you. It's a dawning of consciousness, but it's not about the files or the content or the information that they held. It's not even about your origin. It's not even about really who you are at soul level. I mean, it is, but it's not the information that holds the power. It's your awareness of it. It's your belief. And so if they could control who you believed yourself to be through repetitive gaslighting or programming or grooming of thought to control your mental functions and your perception of self, then they could limit your power. But as soon as you step out of that program, and they're showing me that gavel banging, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has ruled in spirit that you have been wronged, my friend, that you have been done dirty in some way here, and that those secrets are being revealed to you. What was done in the dark will be revealed. That's a repeating thing that Spirit has said multiple times over the course of the last couple of weeks. They've been saying that behind the scenes, and I've said it. It's come through in a couple of readings that they've channeled it out. So what has been done in the dark will be revealed in the light of day. They just pointed me to August, something about August, but they're saying the word August. Augustian, something about August, but like not the month, but the word. I don't know what that actually means. Maybe the Augustan era. Maybe this goes back to like Roman times, or there's something significant about that. They're saying court of justice and Augustus. Again, I don't know what that means, but they're saying that court of justice, Augustus. Something about freeing the people, being freed from slavery, spiritual slavery. And they're saying the word enlightenment. They're showing me Greek philosophers now, like Plato, and I'm hearing apocalypsis, which is like the actual Greek derivation of that word, or root origin of that word, is great awakening or enlightenment. So it's the end of those old times. Oh, and they're saying the word despair. It's the end of despair. It's the end of those times of despair. And Spirit just said, we care. Don't despair. We care. Something about the strands of hair. They're zooming me in on that hair again, like something about the flowing nature of hair or the flowing nature of time, or perhaps this is talking about DNA. They're saying origin points again. Okay, we have another month, December. Well, from the point in time that I'm recording this video, December is upcoming. So something in December could be a major catalyst point. Oh, they said December, remember. Remember who you are. You will remember the truth, the clarity. You will remember, you will see it. You will have a dream about this. You will have a vision. You will have a download. Claircognizance. They're bringing me back to the beginning. Claircognizance. It's coming full circle. Everything's coming back around, and your awareness of yourself is gaining traction, is what Spirit just said. Gaining traction. And they're showing me momentum again, like getting unstuck, getting unfrozen. There's the rainbow. I told you they showed me that rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. The rainbow. And I'm hearing rainbow warrior, come home. Rainbow warrior, come home. Remember your origin. Remember where you came from and all you have done, all the peace you have spread, the wisdom you have shared. The wisdom of your heart cannot be compared. We would not dare to compare it to another. We simply value its contribution and its special and specific ability to do this type of work. Rainbow warrior, calling home, calling home. And they're showing me a bluebird flying over the rainbow. Wow, this is intense. Career. Oh, right away I heard career change. Okay, career change. They're showing me like a reshuffling of the deck, something about a career change. Something that you were stuck in terms of career or finances is going to change as well, because it's all connected. The love life, the spiritual enlightenment, the embodiment of your truth, your finances, your money, your career, literally all of it was connected, because you can't really compartmentalize this from that, from this. You know, it's like energy is a soup. There might be ingredients in that soup, but once it's all mixed together, it's all one. So you're cooking something up here and you're making that magic happen. Ant. Yes. Ant. Work. Achievement. Success. A change in career that will lead to a new type. I'm hearing type of achievement or success, and something about communal connections. They're showing me all of these people in the boat rowing together, like a synchronized, yes, synchronized again, row, 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 or stroke, stroke, stroke. And the ants here and how they, I'm hearing follow the leader. And there's something about these ants that they're showing me like walking in a line. Again, like synchronicity. It's like kind of like military style organization, but it's not military. It's very natural, it's organic, and it's peaceful. And they're showing me that in terms of what you're building now towards this level of success that you've never had. Wow. Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. And I just heard, as I was reading that out, they started singing the line from "Like a bridge over troubled waters," something about this bridge over troubled waters and getting to the other side, the rainbow bridge over troubled waters. And good fortune, great good fortune, 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. The luck here that is coming from this is partially divine providence or divine protection and redirection, and partially from your own, hold on, they just said the word subjugation and limitation. They're showing me something about a luck force field, and it was forced out. That force field was forced out of you, and that frequency is returning home. They're saying origin point, and they're showing me like this internal, almost like a point of totality or all creation in your heart center. And the re-emanation, it's like it they're showing it to me. Oh, I don't know how to explain this. Oh my God. Okay, what? They're showing it to me like it fractalized and it densified in its fractalization. So when it was split apart, it became heavier. And now that it's all coming back together again and reforming, it's like they're showing me almost like this time lapse of this crystal shattering, breaking into a million pieces and being broken. And then now it's like replaying or repaying the tape. They're saying replaying or repaying the tape. And now instead it's this crystal is reforming, coming back together. It's kind of reminding me how, like in Harry Potter, when the room is all smashed up, they can say reparo, wave their wand, and everything fixes itself or comes back together. It's like that they're showing me. It's like playing it in reverse, but it's going forward. But it's doing this like healing or repairing work. And this is restoring the luck. I'm hearing love, actually. Love and luck. And they're saying it's not separate. It's not separate. Love and luck. It's the same frequency. Or thereabouts. It's similar. And the older woman, I knew it. I was like crone energy for sure. Dealings or relationship with an older woman. So there's some level of like the maiden, the mother, and the crone that is involved here. And the development of, again, arrested development. It's like if you got stuck at one phase of that development, now that's changing and you've gained all the wisdom that you needed from this. and you're setting yourself free because you found the solution. You've created it. They said, yes, fifth house, creative solution. You found the creation. You made it work for you. And they're pointing me back to career again, something about work. You made it work for you. And then they said the setting sun, the rising dawn. The setting sun, the rising dawn. Okay, anything else? Any final closing messages you want to say here for Pisces, Spirit? The complications were overcome, they said. Table, hard work ahead. But they're showing me somebody laying out a straight flush in poker on the table. It's like you finally show your hand and you're like, boom, I've got it. Cup, you should accept valid criticism, but what they're showing me is, ooh, hold on. First they showed me pouring tea into the cup. So it's like the tea is being revealed here. The truth is coming out. And then they pointed it to over here. So this is connected to that, meaning like there's some kind of perhaps realization or criticism of this type of negative energy that was in that previous contract or part of that design, that you're finally able to, I'm hearing divine, and they're showing me like tea leaf readings, something about an oracle message in a tea leaf reading. I don't do those kinds of readings here. These are the tea leaf oracle cards, but they're showing me like an actual cup with tea leaves in it. Something about that is connected here as well. And they're saying to getting free. They said living free. Okay. One more, I think. Let's shuffle one more time. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters, but they actually just showed me a lucky rabbit's foot. And they're saying fertility, wealth, and abundance, and those codes being available, overriding the fear mechanisms of that network is what Spirit just said. Overriding the fear mechanisms of that network. And they're saying something about past engrossment into that fear frequency, and you're getting out of that. The attunement to the higher realms is taking place. They're showing me the ears of the rabbit being kind of like repositioned, almost like a satellite dish. You know, it's like you're looking over here at this frequency, and now you're positioning it this way so you get this other frequency. And you're sensitive to it enough now that it comes through the crown, that you actually receive it. You get it. You totally get it. You get the bread. You get it. Period of prosperity and abundance. And they said upcoming months. They just said disease of the mind revealed. Something about supplementation. They're saying freedom from fortified strength in the face of fear. What do you mean? The way that they're showing it to me as they're saying that, kind of the imagery is like there's some kind of a supplement. Maybe it's like an energy supplement, a download that comes in from Spirit that's supplementing you to help you to do this work or to do this healing or to release this contract. Or it could be a literal supplement. I'm hearing supper. Yeah, something about the Last Supper or food, nourishment, nutrients, and getting those to the origin point. They're saying getting the nutrients to the origin point. And they're showing me the synaptic cleft in the brain again. So there's something about the bridging of the gap of these neurons it's like a microcosmic level of what's happening at this macrocosmic level metaphysically. Because it's the same at each dimension. It's just bigger or different, but like it's the same theme or pattern. It's the same thing. It's just, it appears different. The focus is different, they said. Okay. And something about the bread of your being or the bread of your bones, or conquering the giant, because I mentioned golden goose before with goldfish, and they're showing me like bread and bones. I'll grind your bones into bread, and it's like you're able to take down the giant. You're able to take down this giant thing that was sitting on you, you know, like it's this huge thing that was just sitting on you and keeping you stuck. You're able to get it off, to retrieve your strength and your true power. Okay, any final closing messages for Pisces that you want to bring through Spirit in regard to this message and to, I'm hearing their domain. They're showing me the house, the home, something about your domain. I'm hearing something about a managerial role for someone. Career could be part of that. Or it could be just representative of leadership. They're showing me somebody with blonde hair. Yeah, we did have the fair-haired woman, but they're showing me that clairvoyantly now. And she looks like she's wearing a business suit of some kind, or she looks very professional to me. She looks very driven. She's kind of got like a shoulder length bob sort of haircut, a little bit longer than this one in the picture here. It's like brushing her shoulders, the one that they're showing me, and her hair is more straight. Very glossy, very golden. Something about a timepiece. They're showing me a watch with a leather wristband around it, like not metal, like the watch is metal, but the wrist strap is leather. It's brown leather. Something about a weather girl or the weather network or watching for the weather. There's a forecast, something about an in-moving energy system that they're showing me, this energy system moving in, and it's uplifting. It's uplifting. Yeah, they're saying rise in consciousness. Something about the geography of that, geographically, or geographical location and the implications of that. I just heard the word Ford. Something about you'll be able to afford, and they're showing me Ford as in like the cars or the trucks, like the brand of vehicles. Perhaps a new car or vehicles in general are significant, or the brand Ford. Something about financial relief, and they're showing me examples of like tsunamis or hurricanes, and there's something about financial relief that is given to people who have been through some kind of disaster. So you may be getting that from Spirit or through physical means in some way. I'm hearing miraculously. Something about a miracle toner, and they're showing me like toning the face with some kind of like an acid, sloughing off the skin. Perhaps this is referring to sloughing off the skin. Again, this like purge or this new identity, or doing self-care maybe. Taking time to replace what once was is what I just heard. Taking time to replace what once was. And they're showing me the clock on the wrist again. They're showing me something about shifting nodal points on the earth. And something about the geography. It's almost like they're saying timetable, and they're showing me a calendar. So there's something about, and they're saying Gregorian calendar. Okay, so there's something shifting on the earth. Maybe it's like the North and South Pole are shifting, or the polarity is shifting, or something about the energy lines on the earth is changing or adapting. New neural networks, they're saying. So it's kind of like the neural networks, the ley lines of the earth energetically are like the synapses in the brain, is the way they're showing it to me. And when one shifts, the other shifts, and vice versa. Everything's connected. They're showing me a cup of coffee, something about gin, they just said as well. Gin, genies in lamps, or a tonic, gin and tonic. Something about gin and sin, or alcohol, alcohol spirits or something. And they're saying contemplate, just wait. And they pointed me back now. I had my eyes closed as I was channeling all that or seeing that. And then they pointed me back to rest and rejuvenation. Yeah, 1 and 9. It's 109 as I said that. It was 10911 as I opened my eyes and looked at this and then looked up at the time, and 1 and 9. So this is, yeah, beginnings and endings. Whoa, they just said... Oh, sorry, can you repeat that, Spirit? False imprint timelines filled with despair were taken away with the rabbit's hair. Something about the hair of the rabbit. Something about the frequency of fear no longer causing you to falter. And they're showing me you facing a new direction. Facing in a new direction that is shining light on you. It's like you were looking at the dark, and then now you turn and you look, and the light is on your face. And you can feel it and you can see it, and you're walking into the light is what they're showing me. Walking towards the light. Through the light, they said, through the light. And they're showing me that light emanating through you as well. It's like you walk through it and it shines through you. Something about support and stable or stability. They're also showing me a horse's stable. Stability, freedom. Something about the confines of limitations or statute of limitations, and something to do with the house or the home or the frequency of home. Or where this could even largely, if we're looking at home in a global sense, it could be like world, the earth as your home. And something about stability there. They're saying colorful network and seeing in livid. Ooh, somebody's pissed. This negative energy over here is pissed that you are stepping into your power, Pisces. They are not happy about it, but good riddance. Something about sealing them off, and exceeding your ceiling. Something about the roof. Being able to ascend past a certain point that would have originally or initially confined you. They're saying oration, so definitely speaking or communicating or writing is part of this shift, or it will show up in that way, or it could be beneficial to explore different ways of communicating. And I'm hearing makeup test, and they're showing me like SATs, and you're able to make it up. Like if you didn't have, let's say, for example, the time to study, it wasn't a fair chance for you because somebody was holding you captive. It's like, it's not a fair chance to then put you in the seat and test you on this. It's like you need time to actually prepare, and then you pass the test with flying colors. And they're showing me the rainbow again, flying colors. You pass the test with flying colors. And something about a repair or a repair system, repair network. They're showing me repairing cars. And then I heard the word Arthur, or the name Arthur. Two things flashed before my eyes as I said that. Arthurian legend, like King Arthur, and then also Arthur from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the main character. And they're saying something about simple terms, and an agreement. And they're saying no loss, and then they said lost and found. Now I'm hearing the word negotiate, principles, making a deal. They're showing me a handshake between two business people. And it's aligned on both sides, so it feels like a win-win. And they're saying collective future and coming together. They're saying supplemental again, and something about the species or a species. They're showing me how pigs have flesh very similar to humans for some reason. Oh yeah, the pig. Oh, that's so weird. And how they're often used in like crime scene identification for ballistics and bullet testing. So, maybe you're getting proof of something, or there's evidence of some crime that was committed against you spiritually or literally, and you're able to use that evidence to convict the wrongful doer and shift the power or the balance of power back into your favor or back into equality. Okay, I think that's it, Pisces. This is a lot of messages here, but I hope that it is helpful for you. Obviously, communication is a big part of this, and I hope that this helps to free your mind and your creative flow again through that spiritual knowing of the alignment of this whole process. Triumph over troubles, triumph over obstacles. Much prosperity to come. So I'm sending you many, many blessings. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this style of reading. If you guys want to see more of the zodiac signs, it wouldn't necessarily be in order. It would just be as spirit calls me to a particular energy. I can definitely add that as an additional style of reading here on the channel. And yeah, I thank you guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading.